Hi there, Phil here. Welcome back to Comic Card Talk, and this time we're going to be talking about. Sorry, at the back there. Oh, is that upside down? No. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy number 6 with Legacy number 156. Yeah. Okay, so quick backstory. I've been loving Guardians of the Galaxy for a while now. When I first heard about the movie being in development, I thought, wow, they're really making a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And, decided to check out some of the comics. I've read about half of the Abnett Lanning run. I read Guardians 3000, which is about the original 60s team. And I've read the first Bendis series. And I love Guardians, but by the time the first Bendis series ended, I just needed a break from Guardians. And that's okay. Taking a break is okay, and things will go on. There's some things that will go on regardless of your participation or involvement, and that's okay, and you can check back in and see how things are going, because comics keep on going, no matter what. I mean, they'll change, but they'll keep going. And I couldn't get in, and it's not that I didn't want to get into any of the previous Guardians comics, before Cates took over. It's just, they from looking at the covers and stuff, it just looked like they were trying to capitalize way too hard on on how big the movie was getting, because there were it wasn't just a Guardian series, but there was so many solo series. Star-Lord had a solo series, Drax had a solo series, Rocket Raccoon had a solo series, Gamora had a solo series, Groot had a solo series. There was so many different solo series, and I don't know, Marvel was trying to X-Men or Avengerize, the whole Guardians, and well, that's fine. I can appreciate the attempt, but there is such a thing as doing way too much too fast. And I think in the case of Guardians, it had to be a bit more gradual, you know what I mean? So, I just didn't check in, and I haven't read any of the recent stuff. I only know what I look up from Wikipedia and other sources. So, it's good that they're keeping it going. And when Marvel announced their fresh start, so far it was no Guardians. I mean, the only thing that they've announced that was related to that was As Guardians of the Galaxy, which sounds like an interesting title, but, I haven't read it, so I hear it's still going, so kudos on that. And then when I heard that they were doing a new Guardians, I thought, should I check it out or not? But then when I heard who was writing it, Donny Cates. Yeah, Donny Cates. And I've been loving his Venom run. Venom has been intense, and that's one way to describe Donny Cates, I think. When it comes to his comics, it's intense. I haven't read any of his other stuff. I haven't read Baby Teeth and other stuff he's written, but I've been reading Venom and Guardians, and that's one word I can say describes Donny Cates best: intense, because he definitely brings a certain kind of intensity to his books, to his stuff. And I've just been loving his Guardians. And so issue 6 here is the conclusion to an arc, the final gauntlet, which is about, Thanos having been killed in Infinity Wars by Gamora. He left a posthumous message saying, I already got the next Thanos in line. And this causes all the cosmic Marvel characters to go in a panic, right? And they're scrambling, trying to figure out who the next Thanos is going to be. Of course, Eros, aka Star Fox, Thanos' brother, thinks that the next Thanos is going to be Gamora, because, Gamora did all that stuff in Infinity Wars. And so Star-Lord and Groot, they assemble their own cosmic team. They bring back the Guardians. And, sorry, I got an itch on the leg here. Anyway, they assemble their own Guardian. They assemble the Guardians again. And, they got to go and save Gamora. And, sorry, I forgot a little Groot here. I am Groot. I don't know if you could see him here because it's a little dark, but yeah, there's Groot. There's little baby Groot. I am Groot. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, going back to Guardians here. But yeah, I just been loving his Guardian series. I've been reading all his Guardian stuff. I haven't read Silver Surfer Black, which is about what happened to the other cosmic characters that got caught in that black hole. I might check it out either in trade or single issue. I don't know. But, I mean, I do love me some Silver Surfer. I do love me some Donny Cates. So, I don't know. I might check it out eventually. But, yeah, I just been loving his Guardians run. And it just brings a certain, like I said, it brings a certain intensity back, right? So, anyway, like I said, it's a conclusion to an arc about, Thanos coming back. And, the Black Order and Hela have been conspiring, collaborating with each other to bring Thanos back. And it's kind of interesting in a way, because Thanos is now in love with a new Lady of Death. I guess Thanos just doesn't love Lady Death anymore, so he decides to go to the next best thing. Hela, the goddess of death. And I don't know if Thanos and Hela have ever worked together before, but this is interesting. And sorry. Yeah. And so, they're all just going up against each other. And now it turns out that Gamora wasn't the new vessel. It was actually Eros. And I think that was pretty interesting and ironic, that he was trying to stop the next vessel, but when he was the next vessel all along. And of course, Gamora in true Gamora fashion, she kills him. But Thanos still gets resurrected, but he's somewhat damaged mentally and spiritually, I guess. He's speaking in third person and not quite talking right, like Thanos lives. The way I say it's like Sean Connery, I am Thanos. The name's Thanos. Thanos of Titan. Infinity Gauntlet. Shaken, not stirred. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting to see all that. I will say that a couple of things that do kind of feel like a bit of a downer in this issue is that, after the Guardians save the day, after they beat Hela and the Black Order and Thanos, they, of course, the bad guys get sucked up in a black hole, which is ironic because the other cosmic characters got sucked up in a black hole. Of course, I think now they're getting out of the black hole, if I understand that correctly. If that's what Silver Surfer Black is about. But anyway, yeah, Star-Lord and the rest of the Guardians, they, Star-Lord talks about, oh, isn't it great that the Guardians are back together? We're all Guardians of the Galaxy now. But then some of them were like, not so sure about that because, Nebula leaves, Nova leaves, Gladiator leaves. I mean, yeah, they all got their own responsibilities, so it's understandable why they couldn't stick around as part of the team. And that's fine, I mean, sometimes it's best to keep, groups small. That way you have more room, more air to breathe for these characters. They have room to grow, air to breathe, and all that. So, though it does kind of suck, and spoilers, that Cosmic Ghost Rider is no longer part of the team. And I thought he would have been an interesting part of the lineup. It would have added more to that whole, cosmic feel, just that out there feel that the Guardians have. Because, like I said, I mean, I like the movie, but I don't want to have the movie everywhere. It doesn't have to be in everything. Not everything has to be like the movie. All right? You can have other characters. And it seems like this Guardian series is doing that because the lineup right now consists of Star-Lord, Groot, who can say more than just I am Groot now. He can actually talk in full sentences. I mean, it's in the third person, but he talks in sentences now. Gamora, at least I think so. I mean, I don't know if she's going to keep being part of the group after this issue. Phyla-Vell, Moondragon, and of course, Beta Ray Bill. Because, I mean, I don't know. Granted, I only know what I know about Beta Ray Bill from what I've looked up, from internet sources and all that. And I've seen that one episode of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but Beta Ray Bill, to me, is like an interesting character. He's basically Space Thor, it seems like. And just having him there on the team is just great. It kind of adds more to that whole weirdness factor that the Guardians have. And I hope he stays a part of the group for a while. I don't know, maybe he'll get his own series. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it'll probably be a mini series, but hey, more Beta Ray Bill is a good thing. But what's interesting to me is that there's been teasers for the next issue, Guardians of the Galaxy #7. And it teases about the death of Rocket. It has that whole bloody paw print on the window. And here's the thing. For me, when they advertise a lot of these death of so-and-so storylines, like death of Superman, death of Spider-Man, or of course, death of Spider-Man was for the Ultimate Universe. And of course, Ultimate Peter Parker came back eventually anyway. Yeah, I don't know. There's a 50-50 chance that Rocket may or may not die. I mean, it'd be a ballsy move for them to do that. And if they do that, whether they do it or not, more power to them. I guess it just depends on how they do it. That matters. So, be interesting to see what happens. And also, regarding Cates' Venom run and Guardians run, I'm kind of hoping there will be a crossover at some point. Because it's a matter of convenience here for some of these comics. And I forgot to mention this in my Miles Morales video, but since Ahmed is writing both Miles Morales and Ms. Marvel, kind of wondering if they'll do a crossover at some point. It'd just be interesting to see it happen, because Miles occupies New York City, I guess just Brooklyn maybe, and Ms. Marvel occupies Jersey City. I don't know, maybe there'll be a storyline about Brooklyn and Jersey City, the crime gangs or whatever, collaborating. It's going to take the two of them to stop it, or maybe they'll do it in a Champions story. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, but in the case of Donny Cates writing both Guardians and Venom at the same time, considering that Null is from outer space, and he represents a whole new side of cosmic horror for the Marvel Universe, and that so far he's only just been seeing the Venom comics, but now he's been referenced in the Guardians comics. And what if Venom teams up with the Guardians to take on Null? Because Absolute Carnage is coming, and we don't know what's going to happen, but I would like to think that in the aftermath, if Null is still around after that Venom will say, okay, that's it, I've had enough, I'm taking the fight to Null. But he's going to need help, and he's going to need help in the form of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because they deal with a lot of this outer space stuff. So it'd be interesting to see, not just the fact that Donny Cates is writing these two series, but also that seeing Eddie Brock encounter the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if he has before, but seeing him team up with them, because Flash Thompson was a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy as Agent Venom. Now, Flash Thompson was a bit more open-minded and free-spirited. He had his dark side as well, but not as much as Eddie Brock does. Eddie Brock was more of a dark, brooding loner type. So it'd just be interesting to see how Eddie's Venom interacts with the Guardians as opposed to Flash Thompson and the Guardians. I don't know, it'd just be an interesting idea, and I'm hopeful it happens. And if it doesn't, it is what it is. But it'd be interesting to see if it does. And considering that Null has been referenced in Guardians, I don't know if it'll pay out. But yeah, I just been enjoying this series. Yeah, and it's got me hooked on a feeling. I'm sorry, I had to include that in there, but that's all I got for right now. Anyway, take care.